Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Kali, Flame of Samsara, season 1 episode 7. Y'all, we're at the ball. We did our beautiful dance. We played the beautiful instrument. I forgot the name, but it's fine. We captured everyone's attention, but especially we caught Ram and Christian's attention, and these are the two I am going for. Like, Kamal can suck it. He completely lost any sort of chance that he could have had with me. I was never 100%ly feeling him, but I did choose his romantic options. Starting now, this bitch can suck it. I am not gonna go with this man anymore. Like, this man lost it because the way he's behaving, like, this is not even a sugar daddy vibe where he's like trying to spoil us. Nah, this bitch is literally just pretending to be our dad, and he is not our father and he's not our brother. So if this bitch is gonna continue to be like, I hope there's an option where it can be like, you are not my dad, because that's the only thing this man is like trying to get right now. But we literally did capture the attention of every single man. Like, that happens when you play, but I do not complain. You can all watch, but only the chosen ones get to touch. But now that we're here, we had a nice dance with Lord de Clare, and this bitch actually said he has an announcement to make right after he asked if we truly desire to become the head of our family. So this man is actually gonna do something shady if he goes ahead and says, I want her to be my bride. Because that's like the only vision I get right now. But we shall see what this episode has in store for us and what surprise this man is gonna give us. So, if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. Please leave a like because it helps the channel out a lot. And let's see. Devi has to learn to manage her affairs, for the first time her face in her own hands. As it turns out, the weight of responsibility is hard to bear. You don't say. Episode 7, a gesture of goodwill. Okay. Shock me. Devia didn't like the look on his face. Lord de Clare was up to something. That reception was planned for a reason after all. Taking a slow step back, Davy found herself among her friends in the front row of the crowd that had curiously gathered around the Governor General. Some were standing closer, others were further away, but everyone was listening.
Thank you all for this evening, where some of us left the familiar setting of my home to gather in such a unique place.
Kamal, Raj, and Vidya were murmuring to each other nearby. Devi couldn't believe her name was soon going to be spoken alongside the names of the other heads of the dozen families. Things weren't so easy, of course, but the Sharma family was a level higher than the Rai family. So as the Harris, theoretically, Devi would have been more important than Kamal. Exactly. Shove it, Kamal. However, she had to bow her head respectfully when talking to Miss Bazoo, while Kamal was on a first-name basis with the Maharani and treated her like an old friend. So who actually had the more power and status? A family head must prove themselves through their actions, not only their words. My higher status should not only be a record on a piece of paper, but also be recognized by everyone. Mrs. Bazoo owes me for helping her the night of the fire, but who says that's the last thing she'll owe me?
I knew the Claire had a personal interest.
I can't with this man's hair, like, please put them in a ponytail again. Oh god.
It does everything for a reason. I've known that all along.
Let's not jump to conclusions, Raj. This might work to our advantage, especially now that Anil Sharma has come in. Mother, what are you talking about? Radha looked at her mother with undisguised irritation. Vidya's plans and desperate attempts to change the current situation drove her crazy. Mrs. Bazoo had never given up and kept fighting with even greater determination for what was rightfully hers. But it was going to be Radha the one to receive the legacy left by Vidya, including all the enemies she made.
Hush, everything is fine.
For now. Sir, for now. Raj used to think like Radha did, and together they imagined what kind of world they could build together. What if he supported Vidya now? Radha lowered her head, disheartened. Raj had changed a lot. Yeah, that's sadly the problem. Like, both of them are like the heirs to the head families. Like, Raj will be like Amrit, for those who actually read Kali Call of Darkness. Raj will be Amrit, and Radha will be Amala. Like, they are the heads of the families. Both have equally heavy responsibilities and a lot of burden on their shoulders. Everyone has a way of dealing with pressure in their own way. Like, a lot of people become closed off. A lot of people become, I don't really want to say impulsive, but in a certain sense, I have to use it like this. Like, it's not easy for Raj as well. He does not love Amrita, and yet he had to get engaged, because if not, Kamal would have exposed his secret relationship with Radha, and that would have created a lot of problems, because back in the day, there wasn't that saying that the head of the DOOBAY and the head of the Bazoo family would have to get married, and they would be like attracting each other like magnets. It's not like what we know from Kali Call of Darkness. This is completely different. So back in the day, maybe they didn't think it was a good idea to mix the two most powerful heads of the dozen. So the problem here is, considering the fact that both of them have like this insane responsibility, it's insanely stressful for them. And they both, which is something commendable, both of them are trying their best. They're trying everything in their power to make everyone around them proud. They're trying to carry the Bazoo and DOOBAY name with pride, as in they're trying to do right by their name, and they're trying to be a good example for others in the dozen, as in that they like deserve to be the heads or the heirs of the head families. And that's a heavy burden to bear, because this means, which is something that I can stand, this is exactly the same kind of, I don't want to say the same kind of burden, but like for someone that doesn't have that princess lifestyle, it can be considered like this. If you as a student only get straight A's, people around you expect you to only get straight A's, because this is what they got used to. So if you start to get B's and C's because you are not there with your mind anymore, because it's a lot of pressure to maintain the good grades, people will look down on you. They will be disappointed in you, and they will be pinpointing those grades, and it will make you feel even more miserable. Now, in the normal circumstances, in their circumstances, the Bazoos and the DOOBAYs have always carried their name with pride. They always made right by their name. They always were capable to make the most harsh decisions in the most dire circumstances. And in order to be capable to do that, you have to be capable to be cold-blooded sometimes. Doesn't mean always, but you have to be capable to do that, because in order for most of your country to be happy, sometimes, which is sad, but sometimes the lesser part of society will have to suck it up, and they will feel mistreated and oppressed, which is how a lot of strikes come to life, where people like stand up for themselves, and they're like, yeah, you're not doing your job properly because we are being oppressed. We don't have much rights, but the higher society does. So it's insanely difficult to actually maintain appearances and make a decision which is beneficial for every single party. It's difficult, and that's a lot of pressure, and people expect the heads of the families to always be capable to do that. That's a lot of pressure. And both of them deal with that pressure in a different way. Like, Raj got more impulsive, more headstrong, as in that nice boy attitude we saw 5 years ago isn't there anymore. Like, he became very cold in a certain sense, like Amrit. But the only difference between Amrit and Raj is the fact that Raj openly shows his anger. Amrit, on the other hand, he only showed it when he thought that people were disrespecting him. Or more, when we were disrespecting him, because I didn't hold back. And Radha, on the other hand, the pressure is so much for her that she got silent, as in very introverted, very shy. Everyone deals with stress in a different way, and that's very difficult to like get rid of. Devi squeezed her hand, put her hand on Radha's shoulder. offered a word of support. I think there are times when people don't want to hear anything, and there are times when someone wants to hear something. Considering the fact I would like squeeze her hand in order to show my support, but sometimes people need like some kind of words for affirmation. So offered a word of support. Davy whispered, "Don't worry about anything, Rada. Right now they're making all the decisions, but in a few years we will be the ones in charge of the affairs of the dozen. Assuming there's going to be anything left to be in charge of, they will destroy each other. And us too in the process." Pride. Meanwhile, the Governor General was still speaking. What is this man going on about? He stood straight and tall, his hands clasped behind his back and his gaze direct and attentive.
You all know I was entrusted with these lands for a reason. A most gracious Majesty Queen Victoria, Empress of India, personally chose me for this role. As the Crown representative, I have full authority to determine the fate of this territory, and I won't do that without you.
Huh? He waited for the whispers of the crowd to subside and continue.
It was not an easy decision to gather all of you here, as we had our share of challenges in the past. But it would be unwise to continue this conflict. Why be rivals if we can be allies? Why be hostile if we can cooperate?
I gain respect for this man, but considering the way this is going, I can't be fully on board with this man just yet. He's giving me shady vibes. You know, this is like the kind of shady where I like have to put in my few cents why I say it's shady. Sometimes there's like someone respecting everyone at the same time, like the way I'm like analyzing something. Like, I think considering the fact that I've been doing these analyses and showing my pure heart and goodwill in so many videos that you guys don't think I'm pretending or something. I mean, maybe some people will think I'm pretending, but like the true fans, the real ones that have stuck by me for such a long time, you all know who I really am. And sometimes when you like see someone actually having that pure heart and actually being capable to like stand in a crowd and show how much they're willing to change lands with other people, you think they're faking, you know? They think you are pretending. That this is so beautiful, and seeing people with such pure intentions that it must be fake, as in you don't want to believe it. What is going on here? He calls murdering the heads of our families hostility. Huge fees, taxes, and exploitation are just a matter of rivalry. And the death of his promised bride was just a challenge in the past. Then why are we the only ones reaping the fruits of our conflict? They are the problem, not us. Ram noticed a change in Devia's expression. This man really be watching us. Like, sir, come over here, give me a hug. Like, I need something. Like, my boy be doing too much over there, so let me go back to my first choice. And the rage welling up inside her as she stood there in silence, trying to ignore the overwhelming emotions that she knew could get her in trouble. Ram was standing behind her. I did say this man is like there. Like, sir, just put your arms around me, hold my hands, thank you. Like, I think you all get like the views. Like, our hands are clasped together in front of us, and his hands like move over our arms, and he places them over our hands, holding them. That would be such a beautiful view. He leaned in close and whispered,
"Breathe, are you going to explode?"
"No, sir, let me explode." She turned around sharply, almost bumping heads with him. See, I did say he should have hugged us from behind. "Are you having fun?"
"Yes, Devi, I'm having fun. Do I have any reason not to?"
She threw him a surprised and reproachful look, but he just raised his eyebrows.
"You're getting too worked up about this. Just accept the fact that we don't live in peaceful times yet. Watch the events as they unfold, but don't let them get to you."
It's difficult to do that, though.
Miss Sharma wants to keep us sanity, doesn't she?
Oh, shut the fuck up. I hate that I feel better now. Like, I got heated just like she did. I hate that I feel better now. Ram leaned even closer to her as he spoke. His warm breath brushed Davy's neck, giving her goosebumps.
Otherwise, you'll lose it easily in these turbulent times.
Oh, shut the fuck up. We're not in an airplane. I love it. I'm grinning from ear to ear. I love it.
What?
Are you suggesting we just stand here and watch? Girl, what else can you do? You want to push him down the stairs? What do you want to do? Like, I don't think he actually got on the stage where we danced before, but, like, what you want to do? Wait until he's done and then tell him off if you need to.
Yes, just stand here and watch. That's it. You won't be able to alter the course of events today, just as you couldn't 5 years ago. What is meant to be will come to pass. I'll let your emotions tear you apart.
Respect for Ram, ladies and gentlemen. I like that. But it's so cute that he actually saw that we were about to be done with shit, and he like went in and tried to calm us down. I love him.
There's a sand here, Devi. The transitional period before Kali Yuga, when passions run high and the world is gradually descending into chaos. Do you think things are bad now? This is just the beginning, the twilight before the longest night.
Ram's voice was calm, stating the facts without any sign of irritation or fear in his words. You speak as if there is no hope. There is always hope if you believe there is, girl. You have to be capable to be resourceful. Like, you need to allow things to happen. If you don't, you won't be living at all.
Let's hear what he has to say. But I think I might have a guess.
He ain't happy about it. Ram glanced at Vidya and Raj, who were suspiciously quiet and focused. They weren't fools. They clearly knew what the Lord was getting at. Since they knew, but seemed calm. Maybe everything was going according to plan? I mean, they did wanted to marry someone from the Dozanov. The Lord continued.
I've heard how much the Dozan honor their traditions, and I know how important they are to us too. We all want the same thing, peace and prosperity, am I right? We are united by a common objective, but driven apart by our different upbringings. Can we have an open and honest conversation?
That question made even the British guest step close and listen even more carefully. The class spread his arms open wide, a sad smile on his face.
You want to follow your leaders, we want to follow us. I can understand your unwillingness to listen to those who are so different from you.
The crowd murmuring grew louder. They didn't need for him to clearly state his intentions to understand what Lord Declare was hinting at.
This is why I thought it best to once again find a wife among the Dozan.
So that more people can be slaughtered. Y'all like... I'm sorry. Let's hope that this time we're not trying to hide somewhere to discuss this. His last words rippled through the excited crowd. I mean, he did want one of the Dozan there. Radha and Amrita opened their eyes wide. Huh? Path of Passion. Miss Bazoo! Devi turned toward Vidya to share her rage and indignation with her. She wanted to scream and curse. Not again! Did you? Yes, she did.
Raj, did you hear?
She's actually grinning, y'all. She be living her best life. You actually want history to repeat itself. She wants history to repeat itself, bitch. Next time I'm not gonna be the one helping you. Next time I'm gonna allow the bullet to hit ya. Instead of being angry, Vidya let out a strangled laugh. She was laughing. But why? Did she know about this in advance? I'm pretty sure she's the one that kind of tried to subtly hint at the fact that they can still form an alliance, and that's why both of them got later there. Ram stood at a distance with his hands in his pocket. He had guessed the outcome from the very beginning.
We didn't even have to do anything.
Mrs. Bazoo clasped her hands to quiet out the noise of the crowd.
Governor General, that's a brilliant idea.
Vidya. Raj and Vidya had clearly made some sort of plan. Their cheerful expressions showed that everything was going in the way they hoped. Is it just the two of them? Or was Declare also involved? Surely they couldn't have made a deal behind our backs. Not everyone in the Dozan agreed with them. That meant that not all the heads had been involved in the secret plan between the lioness and the tiger. Not even the closest to them.
Lord Declare, don't you find this idea to be a bit too simplistic? In my experience, this type of marriages bring more harm than good.
Without looking away, Kamal said through gritted teeth.
Especially when the future bride has to be scraped off the ground.
You tell him that the one that was supposed to be married off was the one being killed in that slaughter 5 years ago. You tell him. This is the first time where I'm like, go ahead, Kamal. You tell him. This is the rage I actually condone. Mr. Rai spoke clearly and loudly, looking directly at the British lord. Startled gasps echoed throughout the room. Yeah, they all know about the drama happening 5 years ago. And here I was thinking this reception could end without incidents. Bitch, we are on familiar grounds, but they are not on familiar grounds. Like, there was gonna happen something sooner or later. Kamal stepped out of the crowd, standing in front of the Claire. The Lord narrowed his eyes, smirking.
How should I take your words? It almost sounds like a threat. Not at all. Besides, I'm not the one who came up with the idea of creating a new union.
Kamal pressed his lips together tightly. He was challenging the Governor-General, which was unthinkable. But Leclerc kept his composure.
I'm sure we will have a chance to discuss the events of the past one day. It would be very interesting to hear your version.
Devya felt her blood boiling. It was harder than ever to stand idly by and say nothing. Saraswati took her arm, trying to calm her down. Devi hugged her. Let Sara hold her, pulled away. Oh, hug her. Hug me before I start screaming and yelling. Instead of letting Sara do so, Devi ducked under her arm and embraced her from the side.
Oh, that's how it is, huh?
You're laughing too. Am I the only one here who's angry? Their faces were only inches away. Ooh, what's going on? We're hugging. Sara gently patted her on the head.
You're not the only one. I'll tell you later why I'm laughing.
Saraswati is pleased that it is in her arms that you seek comfort. She's our friend, and she's family at this point. Devya wondered briefly. Why isn't Mr. Vaish here? His wisdom would help us now more than ever. Ram is right, we should go to the Kalighat. After this reception, everyone will gather there to seek his advice. To the surprise of many, Radha also stepped forward.
I echo Mr. Rai's words. I see no point in such a union. As the future head of the Basu family, I would not agree to this. But you're not the head yet, Radha. Step back.
What you want, Vidya? She is gonna be the head sooner or later, so shut up.
Am I not entitled to my opinion?
I love Radha. Exactly. Shut the fuck up. Before Vidya could unleash her wrath on her daughter, Raj intervened. Shut up, Vidya. What you want? You want her to take over you? Then shut up and let her take her decision. You won't be capable to stop her once you're dead.
Radha, don't. Just come here, next to me.
No. He motioned to take her hand, but suddenly came to senses and jerked his hand away. Some of the dozen were surprised by his gesture and started whispering to each other, looking from Raj to Radha. Devi knew there had long been rumors of their affair. Whispers had already started back when they all gathered at the mountain residence because Radha one day had taken DOOBAY's hand in front of everyone. She had then tried to laugh it off, saying she'd made a bet with her sister, but many people saw the look Raj gave Radha and drew their own conclusions. Radha lost a game of dice and had to fulfill a wish. This affected the plot. It had become clear to many why DOOBAY wasn't in a hurry to get married.
I'm not fond of this idea either.
As soon as Mohan opened his mouth, Vidya lashed him with a question.
Aren't you paying attention, Mr. Prasad? This marriage will unite us and restore order. I'm in favor. Lord Declare support your idea too. It didn't work out last time, but maybe it will now.
This time we get to kill a few of the British? One of the British guests timidly raised her hand. Is it the blonde-haired woman? This game.
Lord Declare, I'm to understand that you intend to choose a woman to be your bride. That's correct, Miss Daubeny, but I'll only marry a woman who belongs to the dozen.
As he said this, Christian looked right at Davy. For the first time since the beginning of his speech. What could that mean? Did he want to see her reaction? Could the Lord be referring to her? Of course, he's like, the first and second encounter with us has been interesting, so I'm pretty sure he's interested in us. Trust me, being married to me would feel much worse than any hostility you may have experienced so far. Oh, unleash the wrath, girl. Unleash the wrath.
But this is a solution. Let two people rule, one India, one British, to benefit both sides. And we the dozen will ensure order in society.
Arred's words sounded sincere, clear and simple. Like any heir from his family, he didn't take part in political games. Everything he did and said was for the welfare of the dozen, and in particular the Bazu family, which the Takuas had always supported. He belonged to the Brahim caste, and therefore people listened to him more than anyone else aside from the ruling families. His words were met with a scattering of applause. Many people nodded. It felt as if none of them had seen their friends and relatives burned to death only a few years ago. Devi opened her mouth to speak out. But Ram stopped her from making a rash decision.
The marriage he's talking about will be very short-lived. Stay quiet or you'll ruin everything.
But I won't.
Keep your composure and don't say a word. You can vent later.
I love him. I'm sorry. He's like literally the voice of reason in our lives right now. Considering the fact that we literally are the darkness in his life, let this man be the light in our darkness.
You made a business deal with him all by yourself, and it really impressed some of the dozen. This reception is yours. The deal with the Lord is also yours. What do you think is the best course of action now?
The question was rhetorical. Looking around the hall as he finished his speech, Lord de Clare's gaze fell on Devi. Her fists were clenched and she didn't look particularly happy. What? Smirk pointedly turn away. She's like, nope. Keep eye contact. I mean, we can't just turn away. It would be like, I'm way too good for you. Come on. Smirk at him. We're trying to maintain appearances. We have to be the bigger person. Like, especially, I think I said that already in a few of my reactions, but I'm gonna say it again here. I would never, ever say something in my moments of rage, because especially me being impulsive and very headstrong, and I also have a very strong opinion. When I get insanely enraged, I could do or say something that I could regret. So when I feel that I am this close to explode, I prefer to remain silent until the momentary rage disappears, or at least becomes a little lighter, so that I can think more clearly. We don't want to go with our emotions completely. We don't allow our emotions to dictate what we do. If it's about your boyfriend and like, I don't know, the first time and you are scared and you think too much with your head, okay, allowing yourself to go with your emotion and allowing it to happen, all right. Of course, in your own time. But in moments like these, you need to know when to be silent. Try to allow the rage to slowly become lighter, and then you're capable to think clearly again. Don't say or do something when you're in the moment of pure rage. You could do something you could regret, y'all. Like, I'm talking out of experience. Like, back in the day, like, I didn't really do something horrible, but in my moments of grief, because I think I've said it a few times, but I was extremely depressed back in the day. And I would, considering the fact that I was so in pain, I didn't really care about hurting other people, and I would actually hurt other people's feelings that did everything in their power to show that they are there for me. Like, I didn't see it back in the day. And now, after I healed and allowed myself to think back on the most horrible moments of my life, I feel insanely guilty. Like, you can take that back. Like, you can try to, like, make up for that. But in a certain sense, if you are pure-hearted, like, if you actually cared about those people, or in general, if you care about people, you will feel guilty. Like, that's your burden then. So, trust me, do not go with your emotions in moments like these. We're gonna try to maintain appearances. We smile. It was a tired but very enigmatic smile. Davy didn't show whether she was happy or angry because of the class speech. Christian would like to know your opinion. Oh, really now? Then the Claire addressed Davy directly. Huh? This man, I have the feeling this man is trying to cause a slaughter. Because even though I chose this, she's insanely impulsive. I mean, girl, I get it, but I don't think that she actually has my mindset where I'm like, keep it down. You can let out your rage or frustration when you're at home. Like, this is what you learn as soon as you start working. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But, like, I don't think that she actually has that mindset.
What does the hostess of the evening think?
The way he's giving us the side eye, y'all. I'm not so foolish as to tell him the truth. That, like, this is just... this is putting gasoline into fire. Like, this man knows what he's doing. Like, he's pinpointing at us directly. Because I have the feeling he's capable to read between the lines. And last episode he did say that he knows that we're not happy with anything that's going on. And that he knows that we held the gala in our environment because we don't trust him. And he was actually capable to figure it out. As in, he's that perceptive. So, if we actually go with this man's bait, he could make us say something that we don't mean. And we would... look as the stupid bitches. So we may be bitches, but we're not stupid. You ain't fooling me. But I won't force myself to lie either. I should think about my own objectives. The guests quiet down, waited for her answer. Some of them murmured that Davy herself was still unmarried. She spoke up. Your priority, legacy. I think it's a brilliant idea. It's about time we found a compromise. And what can seal a friendly union better than a marriage? There is something better. A very short marriage. Damn, she's like, I'm murdering you in your sleep. Like, don't you worry about that. The marriage will be short-lived. And most importantly, I want nothing to do with it.
I didn't expect us to have similar aspirations.
Don't be laughing too soon. She doesn't have the head for that. Even though, like, Devi is older than me. As in the story right now. She's 23. She's older than me. Yet she seems... from the psychological perspective, as in from wisdom and intelligence, she seems to be younger than me. I would say they are doing this because of a reason. I would just have to say that she actually needs to control her anger. I would have to say she has some huge ass anger problems. She has some anger issues that she needs to control. Like, if she wants to show the Dozin that she's the perfect candidate to take upon the role that was left by her brother and not allow her uncle to take it, she needs to be capable to show that she's capable to deal with it all. And even if she can't stand it, she needs to look at the bigger picture. Davy laughed and lifted her chin proudly and replied, a smirk on her lips. I'm afraid, my lord, our aspirations are indeed very different, though we can find common ground at times like now. As she spoke, Davy crossed her arms over her chest. She knew that no other woman would have dared to speak in such a familiar way to the Governor General. Baby, you need to submit. At this point, you need to submit, because she sure as hell is not gonna do it. And I mean, sure, he can submit himself to me, but only as long as he will be dominant in the sheets. Like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Not just in the sheets, but yeah. Show that a woman can also hold the power, sir. But for some reason it gave her pleasure to do exactly that.
I see.
Reginald, Miss Ophelia's friend, sighed with delight.
Of the three main families in Bengal support you wish to bring forward this union, we couldn't ask for more, couldn't we?
Many were confused and didn't know how to react, but looking at the Bazoos and the DOOBAY, some of the Dozin quiet down, people looked up to them. Others were reassured by Davy's words. If Miss Sharma, whose brother was widely believed to have fallen at the hands of the British, supported the Lord's idea, there had to be a good reason. Come on. The reception continued, but the Lord's announcement remained the most significant event of the day. This man stealing the spotlight even in our own house after the performance we put up. Like, this man... You're literally being a disco ball. All the lights being drawn to this man. Before the event was over, the Claire promised that he would write to Maharani Vidya about all his plans. The guests kept talking about the unexpected news until the reception came to an end. As the guests began to leave, Kamal asked Devi to meet him in the office. He wanted to have a word with her. What does this bitch want again? God! Does he have something else to say to us? He slammed the door so hard that it almost flew off its hinges. Bitch! That's my door! He cursed, throwing a displeased look at her. What does this bitch be complaining about now?
What were you thinking? How many times do I have to tell you to obey me, not to undermine me?
What you want? You ain't my dad! Devi wasn't expecting such an outburst. She was sure she'd behaved perfectly. But I just expressed my opinion. Kamal smiled wearily, as if he didn't believe her.
Are you truly in such a hurry to reconcile?
Only to get closer.
Perhaps Miss Sharma has a brilliant plan. Are you going to smart the Governor General? Ha! I'd like to see that.
This man is actually spiteful, y'all. I only hear spite from this man. Like, as if every single word he speaks throws acid at us. Like, this man. Are you being sarcastic? How dare you speak to me this way?
How dare I?
Who are you, sir? Who are you that you can speak to me like this? Yes, you are responsible for me. And yes, of course, there is this kind of loyalty that I need to have for Kamal. Like I said, technically he is our guardian. But you are not my dad. So keep yourself in check, sir. You're not my dad. Even if you are my guardian, you need to earn my respect and my loyalty. You don't just get it. The corners of his lips turned into a frown. When Kamal grew that serious, it was not a good sign. Devi tried to smooth things over. I know why you're angry. You're scared that he'll start looking for a bride.
He'll choose you, of course. You're especially vulnerable now.
Excuse you? He's choosing me because I'm the leftover? Because I'm vulnerable? Devi sighed and decided to confess. She looked into Kamal's dark eyes. I know what it took for you to protect me 5 years ago. You blackmailed Raj DOOBAY so that I wouldn't become the Lord's bride. I know.
How did you?
I wasn't far and I overheard you. Kamal quickly collected himself and shook his head.
Well, I no longer have such leverage. There's nothing I can do to help you. By supporting this idea, you're only making things worse for yourself.
Well, sir, what should I have done? The DOOBAY and the Bazoo family, the most influential families, had said that it was a good idea. If I didn't want to look stupid in front of the dozen members, I had to go with what the two most powerful families of the dozen agreed with, and they were for the idea. If I said I'm not in for the idea, it would have been contradicting the dozen, and that would have looked awful to me. I couldn't do anything else. Being a leader and the leader of one of the three most powerful families of the dozen, I need to do things even if I don't agree with them. That's what it means to be a ruler. I had to see the necessary evil. It was a necessary evil. I had to agree. It was either that or seeming to be unable to move past small mistakes. Like we were in a party filled with members of the dozen and with the British Lord himself and the closest, and I would assume the most important people from the British government. As in very important people, people that this man trusted, people that this man invited. If we would have been like, you can forget it, it would have been like us being the bad person and not being capable to see the full picture. And it would have made the British Lord look like the poor innocent one. If we want to be capable to make deals, we need to be capable to move past our shadow. I literally had no choice. We had to say yes. Worse how, Kamal? I decided to sweet talk to Claire only because my uncle is on his way here. I need as many people as possible to be on my side.
He won't just be on your side. It will become your side.
This man, is he jealous? That's like the only explanation for me. Not even Ram is like this. Not even Ram turned this violent. And we saw that this man actually got angry when we didn't want to let go of our hatred. Like, sir, at this point he has to be jealous because he's like, he won't just be on your side. He will become your side, as in, he will become your husband.
You're obviously the most adventurous match for him. Don't you see that?
Is he so angry because he doesn't want me to marry another man? Yes. At this point, that fleeting thought seemed absurd. Kamal didn't see her in that way. On the other hand, in all those years, he never once mentioned marriage. Neither his nor Davy's, unlike Gairas, who constantly reminded her that it was time to prepare to become someone's wife. It was strange. Davy had long since started to see Mr. Rai with different eyes, noticing even the smallest details. Now that's the biggest lie. This man can shove it. I just pointed out the obvious. Like, he doesn't want me to marry another man. Something ate at her when she looked at Kamal. But did he feel the same? Or was she deluding herself? Nah, he feels something towards you. You ain't feeling something towards him. You're waiting for some kind of sign from Kamal. No, I'm not. This bitch can shove it. 5 years ago, Vidya herself told me that I shouldn't be afraid and that no one would dare give me to declare. So what exactly are you so scared of, Kamal? Davy took a timid step toward him.
You know what? If you become his, you will decide your fate.
Maybe you want to be the one to do that? No. No. We're not going with romantic choices with this bitch. I don't like him. Yeah, considering the fact that I don't want to have any sort of romantic relationship with this man, considering how bitchy he's behaving, nah. Help the one who's going to need help. He's the one who's going to need help. Davy smiled mirthlessly.
Do you think you will be spared and won't have to marry the Lord just because you're the Shama heiress? Anil's arrival will complicate everything. He can lawfully take your place and everyone would consider it to be the simplest and most classic solution. The only question would then be what to do with you. How lucky, the Lord is looking for a bride. The Governor General, the Queen's representative. You're one of the most noble unmarried women around, and you already do business with him. Your name was on the list of the women he considered a good match 5 years ago. You still don't know where this is going.
Then he will have me. The more Kamal talked, the more worried Davy became. He pursed his lips as he headed out of the office. This bitch is jealous, oh my god.
Amrita and I are going home tonight. There's no use talking about this anymore. You'd better get ready to meet your uncle. Since everyone already knows of his arrival, I think he will stay here during his visit. Or maybe forever.
With that, Kamal left. I think this is so ridiculous. If you guys want my opinion, this is ridiculous. So he can take everything he wants just because he's a man. Why did they send us 3 years to study business if they were just easily gonna hand it to the first man in our family? Like, that's ridiculous. A few days later, Arat sent a maid to wake up Davy. Vidya's maid had brought a message from her mistress. She wanted Davy to go to the Dubai residence to discuss an important and delicate issue. And now they want to talk to me, little bitches. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure they have their own agenda, but you can't just let people walk into the lines then. If they actually had planned that for a time, if we actually are the third most influential family, they should have told us something. We were the one hosting that damn party. She mentioned that Kamal was already there. And the matter was urgent. It didn't sound good. All Davy could do was get up with a heavy sigh and get ready. Ooh, nice one. Precious veil, okay. Nope. Oof. I like both of them. I'm gonna go with this one. Ooh. Sparkling veil. Tiara. Okay, updo in every way. Yep. We're gonna go with the veil. It suits her outfit. Ooh. Chain. claws. Give me the claws. While Aishwarya was rummaging through her things, Devi decided to ask her some questions. Aisha, what are people saying about my reception? Are the servants talking about it? What did people think of me? The maid perked up.
Everyone is talking about you and your dance. They were amazed that you have both energies, feminine and masculine, coexisting in harmony inside you. You do business just as well as the men, but you can also perform beautiful dances. Many praise you for your courage, and the maids from other families have heard their masters admiring the hall's decorations. People are still talking about the reception, and everyone says and thinks different things.
What are people saying about me? Have you heard anything interesting? Aishwarya racked her brain, trying to remember the latest gossip she'd heard from the other maids at breakfast.
Many people were impressed that you were able to sign the deal with the Lord de Clare on your own. Arad told us how cleverly you persuaded him to agree. You have been inspiring some people to pursue new ventures. They're talking a lot about you because they're waiting for this year to end and for the dozen to make a decision.
What are people saying about me and the Claire? Was there anything specific?
They say it's an amazing coincidence that an unmarried heiress closed the deal with an unmarried lord who's looking for a bride. Among the heiresses, some people say it is fate.
They say it's fate. I mean, he is my second favorite, but this bitch better not be doing me dirty. Oh, come on. What are people saying about my family? Are they rooting for us?
It's too early to say, but you have to live up to expectations.
That's why it's horrible to be one of the most powerful and influential family of the dozen.
Everyone heard about your successful business deal, so soon the skeptics will change their mind. You closed the deal yourself and then you hosted the reception. That's no small feat.
I agree. Don't ask more questions. Aishwarya began to make the bed, saying,
Arat is waiting for you downstairs.
Instead of the Kali god, I'm being summoned to the DOOBAY's estate. Even Kamal is already waiting for me there. What on earth happened? She had to hurry. But it's good that I don't have to go to the Kali god. I don't like it there. That's why I haven't been attending the services. I don't know why I feel like that. Maybe I left her home. The master of the estate himself, Raj Dubai, greeted her in the hall. Standing next to him was his fiancée Amrita and someone Devi wasn't expecting to see.
Ratan!
Mr. Vaish? Mr. Dubai? Devi bowed deeply.
I appreciate you coming so promptly. Kamal is on the terrace talking to Vidya. We'll all have something to discuss soon.
Does it mean that I still have some time? Where are Radha and Saraswati? Raj blinked nervously, pursing his lips. He answered, his voice impassive.
I don't know. You can wait somewhere else or go straight to the terrace.
Amrita. Amrita wanted this, y'all. Amrita wanted this. I don't feel bad for her. We warned her 5 years ago. He does not love you, Amrita. She wanted to see this. She wanted to have this kind of life where she would be second-guessing every single second what's wrong with her, that he doesn't like her. She wanted this life. I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for her. I really don't, because she wanted this. Sooner or later, you need to know when to put yourself first and when to decide when things just aren't meant to be. Like, instead of wasting time hanging on to a man that doesn't know who you are and doesn't appreciate you for who you are and what you can bring to the table, why don't you start finding someone that truly will love you and appreciate you for who you are? Like, this is just ridiculous. This is sad. And sorry for having to say it like this. This is pathetic. Because she actually could do so much better. Raj is in love with Radha. And she knows. Amrita knows he doesn't love her. Yet she still can't move past him and say, I'm calling off the wedding. He will never marry her. And even if he did, she will never ever get the love that she wants from this man. She keeps on trying to get this man's attention, and he just shows on a big note that he's not interested. Yet she's still not capable to say goodbye, bitch. So this is her fault. Amrita touched his hand timidly with an encouraging smile. Raj was clearly out of sorts, but his bride didn't know why. Ugh. My Maharaj, maybe Devi could go see Saraswati? She's in the family hall.
That's a great idea, Amrita.
Devi tried not to betray her uneasiness. Whatever was wrong with Raj, it had clearly to do with Radha. The worst part of it was that Amrita saw and understood everything. And she's still stupid. Sorry, I don't feel bad for her. Like she knows.
Your reception went well, Devi. You have made a great contribution to the situation in Bengal.
What do you think about it, Mr. Vaish? We look so pretty. Did I do the right thing? Ratan nodded with a gentle smile. I love Ratan, y'all. I love him to death.
You're wise beyond your years. You have your own concerns and worries. Yet you still find the strength to take such important steps.
Did I do the right thing by supporting the Lord's idea? What do you think about it? All of it. Ratan clasped his hands together in front of him. It was only then that Devya realized that Mr. Vaish's presence was not a good sign. What matter was so important that he graced them with his presence? He graced them. I mean, it's always a grace to have this man here.
He's destined to marry one of you. It is predetermined. It is better to show him your respect rather than turn him against you.
Devi committed his words to memory, so she could repeat them to Kamal if the opportunity arose. Ratan likes that you think things through and take an interest in everything. I wonder if I will be able to turn to Mr. Vaish for advice also in the future. I mean, why wouldn't you? You still make part of the dozen. Oh, by the way, Ram said you can tell me more about my migraines? Migraines?
Why didn't you say you felt sick?
'Cause none of you give a damn. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Ratan raised his hand to silence them. Exactly, shut it. Like, Rita Shiva is here. Let this man do his thing.
It's nothing serious. Come find me at the Kaligat later, even though I know you have been avoiding the services.
Thank you. Now if you'll excuse me, I'll go find Saraswati. Devi hurried away. Yeah, she avoided the Mahakali services, but how could she admit it to the Avatov order, a living proof of great divine power? I don't think you have to. I think he already got it. I mean, he did just say it out loud. I know you've been avoiding it. The spacious reception hall was empty. She could see some maids rushing somewhere in the distance and heard a child laughing merrily. Y'all, all the time when I see this background, I keep on going back to the moment where Amrit's fingers were inside of us. Like, this is the only scene I see. Oh, look at him. He's so cute.
Wow, Sarah, just admit it. You have cast a curse on my dice.
A boy was looking at a table that held dice and a playing board with a surprised expression. Opposite him sat Saraswati. They were playing Chappa and clearly having fun. Chappa is a traditional Indian board game. Oh yes, if anyone knows how to curse at dice, it's her. Devi laughed and she caught their attention. Saraswati immediately broke into a sly grin like a cat. Uh-oh.
Should I take that as a compliment?
Oh, I always give you compliments, girl. You and Saraswati are close enough that she lets you make fun of her. Aww. As she glanced at Devya, she seemed pleased to see her looking particularly pretty. Sara admires you. Aww.
Is that her?
Oh, is she be talking about me? She be talking about me. So sorry, y'all. The boy instantly lost interest in the game, turning to Devi. She gave him an awkward smile.
You two don't know each other. That is Ajita Thakur.
Thakur?
My brother, the younger hair.
He's so cute.
You're back. Did you find Ram?
Ram is mine. Hands off. Aditya jumped off the couch and rushed to his older brother, crashing into him at the full speed. Oh, cute. Edith caught the boy awkwardly, almost knocked down by the power of the child's innocent and enthusiastic affection, and they both collapsed into a chair. He nodded to Devi.
I am glad I saw you. I was afraid I was not going to have the time to.
Are you leaving already?
Yes, I came here to see Ram, but he's running late. I enjoyed your reception. You did a great job. That closing speech surprised everyone, huh?
Not really. I knew the Lord might say something like that.
Did you enjoy being the hostess?
Very much. I had to be patient. I was in my element. I handled everything well. I was in my element. I even surprised myself. I thought it would be worse. I can't.
That's interesting. You go out of your comfort zone and enjoy it. We should all be more like you.
Aww, cute. You're welcome. Legacy. Well, I'm just getting started. I might get bored one day.
My brother said I wasn't allowed to come because I'm too young and it could have been dangerous.
You're a cutie pie. You stay where it's safe. How old are you? Oh,
10.
Your brother lied to you. You're a grown-up.
Isn't it time we went to the terrace? What is to buy?
I'll go get him. Send the servants. No, I'll go get him. I want to see his ugly. It's okay, fine. No, I want to see him. Where's my soulmate? I'll let you get back to your game.
I don't think you should go there.
Why not? Jealousy. So sorry, y'all. Jealousy.
Don't get distracted, Sarah.
She turned back to the game of Chapeau with a grin.
Ram is in his bedroom in the men's wing of the house. Do you understand what will happen if someone sees you there?
No. Can you tell me? In his bedroom? It's alright, no one will see me. Then let the servants go, bitch. I don't mind seeing this man even naked. Shock me. Devi smiled for some reason. She was looking forward to having a chance to get there. Saraswati stared at her friend thoughtfully. She's jealous. She's jealous. Ooh. She's jealous. Saraswati noticed that you're interested in Ram. Uh-oh. There was no one in the hallway. Raj, Amrita, and Mr. Vaish had all gone to the terrace. Kamal and Vidya were waiting for them there, so Devi had better hurry. And yet she was worried she wouldn't get another opportunity to surprise Ram in his bedroom. It could cause a scandal, and the fact that I'm risking so much for such nonsense is saying something. Either I have a thing for Ram, or I'm just crazy. Well, we have a thing for Ram, girl. The emptiness of the hallway worked in her favor. Devi crossed it quickly and silently slipped into the man's wing of the Dubai estate. We just want to say hello. Oh my gosh, it looks so beautiful. She felt relieved. No one would bear witness to her scandalous behavior. The young Miss Sharma sneaked into the unmarried Mr. Dubai's bedroom. If someone sees me here, it will look just outrageous as the time Radha was meeting with Raj. I shouldn't be here, let alone anywhere near Ram's bedroom. Why not? It's not like we were making out or having sex. I'm just getting the sir. What about the maids getting there? Will they also be scolded because they got him out of his room? Like, sorry, I don't see the problem. As if on cue, she heard some maid's laughter in the distance. Damn it. Devi was standing in the middle of the hallway, so she had to act quickly or Ram's behind her. Hide behind a flower pot. Hide. Devya rushed toward a lush plant in a large pot, hiding in the shadow of its heavy green leaves. She crouched down to avoid being seen and held her breath. She heard footsteps approaching. You didn't get caught and stayed out of trouble. All right. What if I would have been caught? When all was quiet again, Devi approached the door of Ram Dubai's bedroom. Should I show good manners or be nosy? Knock, barge in without knocking. You know, at this point, I just want to be wild. Barge in without knocking. According to etiquette, I should knock, but my heart tells me to take Ram by surprise. I want to see the shock on his face. Damn, she out for blood, y'all. This is out for blood. Without giving it much more thought, Devi pushed the door open and asked as loudly as possible, damn, passion. I'm passionate at this point. Oh my gosh, how beautiful this room is. Why are you late? Ram was standing with his back to her and didn't even flinch. He just finished adjusting his belt before slowly turning around. This man looks tired. He's just so tired with us. He's just done with our sorry ass.
Devi, why are you trying to catch me off guard?
How is it possible that this bitch always just knows? He literally is like Amrit. This man never shocked, no nothing. You didn't even flinch. Why? Did he hear us? Were we that clumsy?
I had a feeling you'd come.
Fate. He's saying, bitch, I knew. It was fate. I knew you can stay away. He pointed to his eye. His special vision probably made his life rather uneventful. Davy closed the door behind her. Ram crossed his arms over his chest, obviously puzzled by her visit.
What are you doing here?
I came to hurry you up. Everyone is already on the terrace.
Yes, but what are you doing here?
I decided to wake your sorry ass. This man actually trying to be all seducing and be like, yes, but what are you doing here? I know that you were here, but why are you in my bedroom right now? You couldn't wait to see me? Yes, I couldn't. He lowered his voice a little, taking a step toward Davia. She didn't want to make him feel like he had the upper hand, so she stood where she was and grinned. Y'all, like, this is exactly the scenario that I just explained. Damn. Am I bothering you somehow?
I like that you tried to stalk me like prey.
Damn. He's like, I'm not the prey, you are the prey.
Your only problem is that I'm usually the one doing that.
I fucking hate this. He is my soulmate, y'all. I'm sorry, at this point, he's my soulmate. Ram is my soulmate. As soon as I start explaining, I look up from the screen. I do not continue reading that. This was insane. I cannot. Like, same. He's like, I'm not the prey, you are. Are you sure about that? Ram didn't say anything. He was next to Devi in 2 strides, forcing her to step back against a bookcase. This man says I'm the one in control now. Sir, if you want to be dominant, you better show dominance. Like, grab my wrists, push me against the shelf in a sexual manner, grind your groin against me, and start kissing my neck. Sorry.
I'm sure.
She decided to move aside to step out of his trap, but Dubai rested his hand on the shelf next to her face. Circling me in. Sir, this is still not making me wet. Like, you need to be doing a little more convincing.
I got you.
Are you sure about that?
Is this what you came here for? To the man's part of the house. I'm giving you 3 seconds to tell me the truth.
Devi lifted her chin. She stood straight, and contrary to Ram's expectations, she didn't try to move away from him. She wanted to provoke him. Me! Provoke his sorry ass! She knew Dubai wasn't going to do anything to her.
1.
Stop teasing me. Do you think I came here looking for your attention? We were.
2.
He's like, try telling me the truth. 3 seconds. You trying to get out of this situation is only gonna make me count further. Like, I know you wanted something from me. The world doesn't revolve around you, Dubai. Stop trying to corner me. Do you really think I'm going to get all flustered? You are! Like the lies. At this point, the only thing he could do to make her stop resisting is to kiss her. I came here alone, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything, does it?
You came to a man's bedroom, at the risk of being caught. You came to be alone with me. I think it does mean something.
Stop making up fantasies about me in your head. I think his sexual fantasies are a little more specific than that. I think he has more sexual fantasies about us than just us coming to his door. I think he's imagining us either as the dog or as us being the domino. Us wearing leather outfits, having a whip. I just came to fetch you for the meeting.
Or are you lying to Davy, me or yourself? I can see the look in your eyes. Do you still want to play dumb? Fine, then you either go to the terrace or...
Or what? What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Let's just say you won't leave disappointed. But first, I should teach you how to tell the truth.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh! No! She averted her gaze and swallowed uncertainly. Ram wasn't backing down and was slowly getting closer and closer to her face. Devia held her breath. She could easily push him in the chest, open the door, and run away. Ram knew that too. He knew very well that Devi was not afraid to make her opinion clear. But right then, as she was biting her lip nervously, letting him press her against the shelf, he became certain of it. She also felt that! Ah! The way he felt when she was near him, the reason he always looked for her in the crowd and couldn't stop teasing her. The reason why he felt a thrill of excitement when he gently lifted Davy's chin and put his lips very close to her ear. He whispered,
"What am I going to do?"
Stop! Move away! Move away!
"I'll show you, so that you're ready for the next time you decide to visit my bedroom."
He's like, next time you don't have to come quietly. Next time you can already come here naked. Next time you will already know what to expect as soon as you come into my bedroom. Next time it won't be talking nicely together. Next time it will be the two of us immediately jumping each other's bones. His hand rested confidently on her waist, pulling her closer. Hovering over her, he trailed his lips shamelessly from her ear down to her thin neck. Her skin was warm and soft. He couldn't stop himself and bid her gently, "Bye." Bye. What is going on? Shock me. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Eat me, Daddy, please. Davy shuddered in his arms as she felt his soft bite. Her slender, sensitive body was answering him much more honestly than Davy herself had ever done. Ram's bite turned into a passionate kiss in the very curve of her neck. Davy squirmed a little. His lips tickled her, but at the same time felt so good. A sweet torment that made her feel strange. His fingers holding her chin didn't allow her to press her head into her shoulder. He was keeping it tilted, giving him space for his educational kiss. How can you educate kisses?
No need to turn away.
What do you think you're doing? What if someone sees us? A soft laugh sounded next to her ear.
Is that what's on your mind right now?
That though, he's like, my kisses aren't capable to make you completely forget everything around you. This reminds me of Amrit, season 3, episode 9, I think. When we were on the couch with him, he was like, if you're still capable to worry about something else and not focus on me, then it really means that I'm doing something wrong here. This is literally what this scene has given me. Like, that's the only thing what's on your mind. Like, my kisses aren't the only thing right now. He drew his wet, hot tongue along her neck and then kissed her skin again, making Davy feel weak in the knees. She tried to push against his chest a little.
I take it you're enjoying this.
And he's enjoying himself quite a lot, I would think. He's enjoying himself a lot, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't seem to mind. Don't make things up. Sir, you need to be a little more persuasive. Like, just move your hands to her ass, like, or between her legs, like, do something. She's trying to test his patience, and he's trying to test her restraint. Sir, you need to be a little more persuasive. Like, you need to allow your hands to wander, or you need to allow your lips to wander, because just kissing my neck or my lips is not gonna make me wet. Like, you need to come up with other ideas. He caught Davy's arm, pressing it above her head. Ram knew he should have stopped, but her response to his touch was intoxicating. Soulmates, I'm sorry. Like, they both get excited knowing that the other person is excited by them. Like, knowing that they have control over the other person is what excites them. Same though. Like, this is another kind of power that makes you excited even more. He was losing control little by little, feeling how hard Davy's heart was beating against his own body. She suddenly let out a moan, but immediately closed her mouth. His breath was hot against her skin, wet from his kisses, sending jolts of electricity throughout her body. She needed to come to her senses. What was she doing? Where? With who? She's losing completely. She's losing herself completely in his kisses. That's another sign of love. Like, this is beyond lust. This is literally love. Ram had fallen into his own trap. He had resigned himself to the idea as soon as he found himself wanting to kiss her neck hard enough to leave marks, long enough to hear all her sweet, loud moans. He imagined people seeing those marks on Davy's skin, especially that British lord. Ram wasn't sure where that wicked thought came from. This man is like, this bitch better know that this is just an arrangement. He better know that I'm the one here. God, Ram is possessive, y'all. I'm sorry, that picture was gorgeous.
If you don't admit why you are really here, we'll stop.
He forced those words out, looking down at Davy without an ounce of shame. No, he didn't want to teach her to be honest. He just wanted her. I came to see you. She also forced herself to tell the truth. Ram grinned when he noticed Davy's darkened eyes. Yeah, pupils dilated. That means that there is arousal there.
I knew that. Just like I knew you didn't want me to stop.
If you don't admit why you stop, if you don't admit why you are really here, I will stop. DOOBAY caught her there. If she hadn't told him the truth, he would have let her go. Not only did she admit why she went there, but she also showed him that she was enjoying it. You fool! Why didn't you think about the question? This is so like him. I will never hear the end of this. A girl like this bitch also was testing his own patience. Like he was testing his own restraint. Like he gave in to you. Like this is a success from both sides. You are weak for each other. Satisfied with her reaction, Ram added,
So do you think you've hurried me up enough, Devi? We can go now, right?
Oh, shut the fuck up, you little bitch. She blinked several times in a futile attempt to pull herself together. She wanted to do the most foolish thing. She wanted to lean forward and... How dare you? Ram raised his eyebrows. Me.
Just a second ago, your voice sounded quite different.
Are you trying to seduce me? To disgrace me? Why would he disgrace you?
I think you're the one trying to seduce me when you show up looking like this.
Oh! I'm sorry. Sir, like, this outfit wasn't for you. Like, sorry to disappoint. But it's nice to know that my outfit inspired lust inside of you. Ram is looking at you. Thank you. Nice thing that he's not looking at the ground.
I guess my joke has gone on long enough.
Devi freed herself from his hug. Shrugging her shoulders, she tried to ignore the shivers still running down her spine. I can't believe it. She headed for the door, not even caring if Ram was following, but he didn't feel guilty.
We're no longer kids, Devi. You're attracted to me, even though you pretend that you're not.
He opened the door for her, a pleased grin on his face. Devi glared at him. Rakshasa. What does that mean?
Rakshasi.
What is going on? I'm sorry. Like, their dynamic is just everything to me. Like, I read a lot of comments that said that they don't like Ram anymore because they feel like the relationship is forced. And to a specific degree, I can understand because you don't really see when the interest of him started. But to be quite honest, this is like just showing that not every single person is capable to show it. Like sometimes we actually saw the development and like the fact that they liked a person and you could like follow their change in attitude towards you. But in a certain sense, you all can see this like Amrit. Amrit immediately was smitten by Amala. And there was nothing he could do about it. Like, he immediately liked her. But he still, in a certain sense, played hard to get. He knew that Amala will like him because he knew about the prophecy. And that they would be ending up together. He knew it. So he wasn't really worried. He knew that they would end up together. So there wasn't really a development in his love or in his attitude towards her. That's the same thing here. Like, this is like the animosity that you have towards someone that you're intrigued by. Someone that you kind of like, but considering the fact that you've never felt that kind of feeling before, it annoys you at first because it's new. And no one was able to actually make you feel something like this, so you kind of dislike the feeling. But considering the fact that Devi was missing the services preparing for the trial period, Ram going to the services and not seeing Devi there, over time he realized that he was looking for her presence. He heard about her development, about her achievements in her studies, and that made him intrigued more and more by her, and that made him want to be with her or see her more and more. Like, this is what happened behind the scenes. We didn't really see that, but it doesn't mean that there can't really be a romantic relationship between these two that makes sense. Like, in my eyes, Ram is the one I like the most right now, to be quite honest, even though I'm kind of intrigued by the British lord. But as of right now, the one that excites me the most, and which route excites me the most in general, is him, because there is like this enemies to lovers vibes in a certain sense. Like, they both were at each other's throats, and right now they can't do anything but accept the fact that they both like each other. And I like what Ram said to her. He was like, we're not kids anymore. We both like each other, and we have to accept it. It's not my fault you don't want to accept it, but we both know that we like each other. She shook her head. What just happened? The minute we were left alone, gods, but I really wanted it. Yes, me too.
I'll go first. I still have a matter to discuss with Eret. Please wait here a minute longer.
You'll have to think things over. You and Ram have grown very close. The beautiful terrace was bathed in sunlight. It smelled of leaves, smoke, and freshly brewed coffee. Ram and Ratan were sitting on one side, and Devi went to sit next to them. Raush, Amrita, and Sara were sitting opposite. Eret and Aditya had already left the residence. Kamal was talking to Vidya, clutching a letter in his hands. What's going on?
Lord Tekle sent me a letter this morning. He has chosen a bride. He didn't think long, assuming he thought it all and didn't decide on a whim.
A knot began to tighten in Devi's stomach. She slowly got to her feet, anticipating the worst. Vidya threw up her hands in exasperation, giving Kamal a disgruntled look, like this man is jealous.
Come on, tell her already. There's your name on the letter, Devi, and no one else's.
I knew he was gonna be that. Huh?
What? He asked permission to enter into negotiations with Devi's guardian to discuss the terms of the engagement. He wants you to become his wife, and he was very specific about it. He didn't even consider anyone else, just like I told you.
Kamal ran his fingers through his beard, trying to calm down and turn away. This bitch is so jealous. He is so jealous.
Well, that was to be expected.
And why is that? Ram. Considering the fact that there is like this love between the both of us. Oh god. Uh-oh. I did poke the bear by making out with this man. Uh-oh. Devi was overwhelmed by a wave of different emotions. She suddenly remembered Ram's hot lips on her neck. This is gonna be something, alright. She didn't want that to be the last time. He's gonna be the side lover. He's gonna be the side piece. Oh no. Y'all, I picked the messiest options. I picked the messiest version. Oh god, I picked the messiest way for the story. I mean, that's why you love me, come on now. Y'all, I did myself dirty. Like every single story, I do myself dirty. Huh? Am I upset about Ram? As if I could ever become his wife. Why am I feeling like this? I mean, he's not really the heir. So considering the fact that there isn't really an arrangement between the Bazoos and the DOOBAYs yet, why wouldn't he be capable to be married to her? But like right now, damn. Damn.
Out of everyone, he only picked her.
Saraswati was astonished by Kamal's words. Oh yeah, I did flirt with her too. Well, damn. She was beginning to hope that the special bond between her and Devi was growing stronger, but now there was going to be no more place for that. Uh-oh. Y'all, I have Kamal, Ram, and Saraswati on the plate now. Damn. I did play. I did this to myself, y'all. I did pick the messiest to go through.
I knew it. The same situation as last time.
Huh? What should I do? I don't want to marry him.
You won't. He won't get a chance.
Vidya's voice drowned out the others. Yeah, we don't have a choice.
And yet, she's not married. Why not consider it? We're in a vulnerable position. This would help us all. Vidya, this is impossible. Out of the question.
That's literally, I knew that we were gonna be the wife. From one side, because we're the main character, of course. But from the other side, because of what he said at the end of last episode. How much do you want to be the head of your family? Because I don't know why I feel like this, but I have the feeling that this is how it goes in that old society. If you marry a very important man, the woman has nothing else to say. Like, she's only there to look pretty. Like, her intelligence and everything else won't really be important anymore. She arched an eyebrow.
Devi is in a very difficult position. Her uncle intends to stake a claim to her inheritance, and he will do that by any means necessary. At your reception, there was someone from the Chosen telling everyone about Anil Sharma and what a suitable heir he would make. Who sent him, huh?
Kamal frowned. Raj had taken the news calmly. A distraught Amrita clung to his arm. Are there no other options? I can't get married. I'm still working on my business. I want to take my place at the head of the family and... Yeah, not happening. Apparently that's how bullshit goes in this story. Miss Bazul looked at her.
If you get married, you will have a man by your side. You'll become the rightful heir, do you understand? It's up to you, Devi.
The rightful heir?
Everything belongs to you. For now. If you marry the Governor General, no one will dare stand against you. But right now you're vulnerable until it doesn't recognize your right to lead the family, and Neil can take everything away from you. If the Governor General, the Queen's envoy, gets involved, all problems will be solved. Do you understand? Things will move faster and all your enemies will hide. We need this wedding for one reason only, and you know what that is. You'll kill two birds with one stone. You will protect your inheritance, and you'll bring us closer to victory.
By giving up my freedom to love. Great. Davy looked down, her eyes filled with horror. It all sounded very adventurous, but she knew a simple truth. I don't want to marry the Governor General. Oh, look at Kamal. Kamal couldn't help but feel his anger soften. He put his arm around her shoulders to support her. He felt possibly even worse than her. He was torn between his duty and Davy's well-being. Oh, Ram. Ram is gonna be busting some heads.
Brother, you're so calm. Everything's going according to your plan, right? I supported this idea back at the reception. The Lord's offer's generous. He won't even lay any claim to her inheritance. You foresaw everything, Ram. You knew this would happen again, so why are you surprised? I knew it, but for it to turn out like this...
He doesn't want it to turn out like this. That's what happens when you're in love. That's what happens when feelings get involved. Like, you know a specific amount of truth, but you hope that even though you know it won't change, you hope that it will turn out differently. That's like the hope because of the feelings that you have.
You knew about that too. Fate always gets its way.
Ram.
It'd be a fool to consider anyone other than Devi. There was room for doubt in the past, but right now, this is the most reasonable option. For us too.
And why? Kamal caressed Devia's back, comforting her. Why is the best option me? That's like the interesting thing here. That's what I'm interested in. Why? Why is the best decision me? I'm the head of the third most influential family of the Dozen. We don't care about her uncle being capable to stake like his claim, even though this bitch has literally not been around ever. And apparently everyone that just has the last name Sharma on them can come in there as long as they're a man and they can take everything away from the women. All right. Ignoring that and how pissed that makes me feel. Why? Why? That's what I want to know. Why am I the best option? I don't understand. Why am I the best option? Like, there are so many women in the Dozen. Of course, they would have never allowed the Bazoo women to be married off. Why am I the best woman? Why am I the best candidate here?
Anil has a real chance to win over some of the Dozen to his side. Devi needs leverage, rather than the support of those who can't help her in any way. You and Raj are on her side. Who could be more important? I think she should agree. Such a level of influence on the British governor will be extremely useful to us.
Like I said, for their own gain.
He's chosen her for a reason. He's playing his own game. If he's playing his own game, it would be wise not to pull Davy into it. We don't have the best of intentions either. We're preparing for a fight, and he is there for the taking, just like Vidya wanted.
But Maharaj, Amrita...
Don't say a word, Amrita. These are the affairs of the dozen. Forget about friendship.
Vidya looked at Kamal, adding pointedly,
Do what needs to be done, Kamal. The British Lord has expressed as well. Think of what's best for Devi. Do the right thing and prepare for Anil's arrival.
Devya felt Kamal take a deep breath. He was angry and scared at the same time. No one had any idea how to say no to the most important person in the whole of India. Great. All the way home, Devi kept thinking about Christian's letter. He wrote to Vidya and simply informed her that he wished to marry Devi, no one else. What was that supposed to mean? Did he have some personal reasons, or was it all just cold-blooded calculation? But why Devi? What did he want from her? There were definitely things left unsaid between them. No one even knows how we first met, how I laid in his lap holding a knife to his throat. Kamal was silent, but his expression quickly changed as soon as he noticed the luggage lying around the hallway. Okay, where is that bitch? Everyone came to the same realization just as a short man walked out to meet them.
Mr. Sharma. Kamal, you've grown even bigger, and this must be my lovely niece.
You need to fucking leave. Like, this bitch hasn't been there in, like, forever, and considering the fact that we could have the possibility to, like, claim our territory, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go in there and snatch everything away. Like, literally, they all are willing to waste our 3 years of efforts just because he's a man, and we're not. I would refuse to say a word about this. Is this my lovely uncle? Yes, that's her. To be quite honest, yes, that's her. And she'd like to know what's going on here. Have you arrived sooner than planned, uncle? She nodded at the many things Anil had brought with him. Anil raised an eyebrow, but his tone remained friendly.
Oh, strange, I'm pretty sure there's no way to greet your elders.
I don't give a damn who you are. Me. I don't give a damn who you are.
Mr. Sharma, in front of you is the head of your family.
Kamal crossed his arms, looking forward to what Devi would add to the remark. Let's go. Make yourself very clear, might I add. Very clear. How strange. I'm pretty sure there is no way to greet the head of your family. Anil didn't expect that answer and didn't expect his niece to behave like that. He was told about a grief-stricken orphan, but the rumors turned out to be false, as it usually happens. Mr. Rai, can you tell us how is it customary to greet the head of the third most important family in the dozen? Please remind me and my dear uncle of the rules. I'm sure he will greatly benefit from it. Ooh-hoo! That. You let this bitch know that he came in here just to sweep away what you worked your ass off for. Let him know that you're not having his sorry ass. Like, he just showed up so that he could, like, claim a stake at our inheritance. And apparently people of the dozen would, like, agree for him to be the new ruler just because he's a man. We're not having it. We worked our ass off for this. We should have the opportunity. We should become the head of the family. What is this bitch doing here? What does he want?
If this is your first meeting since your appointment, you should kneel down and kiss the tip of your shoe.
Kamal cracked his neck as if to show Anil that it wouldn't be difficult for him to bring him to his knees. Debbie turned her smile slowly to her uncle and smiled. It's so wonderful that there are people like you who always remind us about manners. Debbie, love it. It does feel a little too formal between relatives, though. What do you think?
Yes, but you're not the official head yet. Although it doesn't matter, yes, we're family. There is no need for such formalities.
Really? How nice. Are you going to be here long? And he'll realize he won't be able to manipulate you. No, this bitch won't.
Who knows what responsibilities I'll have to shoulder. I'll ask for my things to be brought to Kyra's room.
No, you won't. Yeah. No, you can't take any room but that one.
Mr. Sharma, I'd like to have a word along with you. As Devi's guardian, I have some questions.
She could see that Kamal was keeping calm for appearance's sake only. That day was clearly one of the worst in his life, in both of their lives. He's still not having that we're being married off. Devi turned away with a look of disappointment. How could she believe in divine providence and praise the Dark Mother if misfortunes kept raining upon her one after another? He's so slimy. It is written all over his face. Anil is here to take what's mine. Vidya said someone at the reception was trying to praise him in front of the dozen. Was I overconfident? Who else is on his side? Once again she thought of the Lord's letter. He was asking permission to discuss all the details with Kamal. The clan wanted to marry her.
A welcome dinner for me. You want to go back into the local society, don't you? We haven't seen you for a long time. Vidya and Raj were asking about your arrival.
Kamal clearly had some kind of plan. Yeah, considering the fact that everyone is like, oh, because he's a man, he can do shit. Let's bring him to the most important members of the dozen and let's see how much this bitch is capable to fall with just saying one thing. Kamal clearly had some kind of plan, but after everything that happened, Devi was in no hurry to ask him for details. She knew two things. Ania was going to be in Calcutta indefinitely, and Kamal was going to get a feeling for his character at the dinner. Calcutta a few days later. The following days felt crazy. Kamal was not himself and distanced himself from Devi. He stopped coming to her office to work together, and she was left sorting through all her papers alone. He was just talking to her about business, and had a reluctant and regretful expression in his eyes every time he looked at her. Has he already decided everything? It can't be. But then why is he so disheartened? Why does he look so guilty? The fate of the woman chosen by the British Lord seemed to be a terrible one. He wants to make me his wife, but he hasn't done it yet, and I doubt he ever will. So why is Kamal looking so sad? He has a feelings for you, bitch. Yet my uncle's smile is growing bigger by the minute. Like I would just be smacking this bitch around. To be quite honest. She didn't like him. Anil continued playing the role of the caring uncle, but no matter how broadly he smiled, his gaze remained steely. That's why Devi was looking forward to the dinner they planned to host in honor of Mr. Sharma's arrival. Vidya or Saraswati were going to take care of everything. Reading people was their specialty. Devi and Saraswati walked out of the dining room. The reception was in full swing. Vidya, Anil and Kamal were sitting there, but Radha had gone to the bathroom and Devi and Sara had decided to go keep her company, just to avoid the tense atmosphere. We don't need to be there with this bitch. Like, the second we walk into a room where this bitch is at, the atmosphere becomes thick. You could cut it with a knife. No. Goodbye. Vidya spent the evening asking Anil where he had lived, what he did, and how he saw his future. The twins didn't like that.
Mother is up to something. She's got her claws into him. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be complaining about this to you. The Governor General himself has his eye on you.
He doesn't. I'm just strategically useful. And why?
But he won't get anything, so what does it matter? I wonder what will Kamal do.
As they were alone, Devi gathered her thoughts and asked, Sarah, did you know about it? About what the Declare was planning?
What makes you think so?
She looked almost offended. Her eyes widened.
Do you think I would have kept quiet? Would I have taken your hand and laughed knowing that you were in danger?
Remember, a week ago at the reception, you said that I shouldn't worry, and you would explain everything to me later. The worry on her face quickly turned into a smile.
Oh, that. No, I didn't know, but I had some suspicions. There were some rumors that the British Lord was up to something.
What is the British Lord up to?
He had said many times at the various meetings my mother attended that he wants to establish peace between us. Who would have known that you would bring us that peace?
And why do I need to stay calm?
Because Mother and Raj have been planning a new attack for a long time and have repeatedly returned to the idea of marriage. But Rati's fate had scared many, so who would ever agree? Anyway, they have a plan. But now that the Lord has explicitly said that he wants you and no one else, I don't know what will happen.
I knew it. Vidya and Raj looked way too calm back then. Well, maybe not all is lost. We should get married so they'll leave us alone. When will they leave us alone? I don't know. I don't know. You know what? But it's funny. It's funny. We should get married so they'll leave us alone. We should get married. They will leave us alone then. Devi stretched out her hand to Saraswati, palm up. Let's decide who will call themselves Maharani and who will go by Maharaj. Love it. I'll shower you with jewels and put up with your weird jokes.
Don't you dare say that my jokes are weird.
Devi found the courage to catch Saraswati's hand and pull her closer, dragging her into a dance. But you don't mind everything else I said?
No, why would I?
I love her. She's great. When they slowed down, Sara stopped smiling.
The Lord's intentions are very serious, but don't be scared. This is not the end, but only the beginning. Although getting married to each other is still the best thing that could happen to us.
I love it. Saraswati liked your joke. You're welcome. It was just an attempt to cheer up before something inevitable happened. Even though Devi still believed that Kamal would refuse, it was hard to say what was hurting her more. The realization that she may be forced into an unwanted marriage of Saraswati's eyes filled with sadness. Oh no, Saraswati! I feel bad. Devi felt the same confusion and even an incomprehensible deep sorrow. If she got married, how far would it drive her and Sara away from each other? Y'all, like I'm just destroying hearts left and right. What's taking Radha so long? I'll go find her. You go back to the table before they start missing us. Sara went strangely quiet, but a moment later she said,
We'd better look for her together. I'm afraid you won't be able to help her.
Uh-oh. Is she hurting herself? What's wrong with her? She looked a little unwell, but is she hurting herself?
There is no point in hiding anything from you. Come on.
Is she hurting herself? Saraswati walked to the nearest bathroom. The door in front of them opened when Sara knocked in a certain way. Like all twins, they had all sorts of secret languages. Radha looked a little different. Oh my god. Her hair was disheveled and her makeup smudged. She looked broken and lost. Radha? Saraswati entered first and pulled Devi after her and locked the door. She silently began getting her sister cleaned up. She smoothed her hair down, brushed the dust off her beautiful clothes, and tried to help fix her makeup. Radha just stood there, as if in a daze. What happened to you? Are you feeling sick? Devi took Radha's cold hands in hers. She remembered Raj's strange behavior the day before, and the pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place. Is this about Raj? Did he break up with you? When Devi said his name, Radha looked at her. Who would have thought that the strong and self-confident heiress of the Basu family could look at her friend with so much pain? Oh no. No. My child. Okay. When can we hit Raj? When can we hurt this man? No one is hurting someone I care about. No one is hurting my family. I'm very protective of the people I love. Radha is one of my children. She needs to be protected. When can I hurt this bitch?
You know that we still...
I couldn't help but notice. I know you well. Others might suspect it too. There are rumors going around about you too. Radha lowered her head and started sobbing loudly. Her trembling, icy fingers moved down to her stomach. Devi, she's pregnant! She's pregnant! Devi gasped in horror, coming to a sudden realization. Oh, Radha, are you... Is she pregnant? Pregnant? That was equal to a death sentence. Radha couldn't stop sobbing. She pregnant, bitches. I feel so bad for her. Back in the day, there wasn't anything like being capable to get rid of the child in utero. Oh no. Radha couldn't stop sobbing, crying out all her helplessness and fear. She was carrying the child of a man who would never be with her. Never. She was weak, lonely, and so lost. Saraswati couldn't stand it and threw her arms around her sister. Oh, stop! Y'all know that I can't see people cry. I don't want her to cry. Don't let them cry. No. I'm feeling bad. Don't cry, or I will start crying too. Oh, great Mahakali, what are we going to do? That we coming from Devi said a lot about the situation. She thought of it as a shared problem, and that made it a little easier to bear. Devi wanted to hug Radha. You know what? Help her come up with a plan. Like, they're both broken, and even though we're broken too, we need to be strong for the both of them. Even though I want to hug Radha, help her come up with a plan. We can find a way to help. We can find a way to make her feel better, like we have to. This is what family does. This is what friends are there for. They're supposed to help you feel better. If she can't find a way, we will have to find a way for her. Devi pulled herself together. She assumed responsibly enough that crying wasn't going to help. We'll figure something out. It can't be like this. Raj is responsible too, isn't he? He has to marry you. Radha shook her head in disappointment. It was hard for her to keep everything to herself, so that was why she had excused herself from the table and had gone to the bathroom to calm herself down. You won't be capable to calm down, because considering the fact that if you don't have a horrible accident that actually kills the child, you won't be capable to hide it. The belly will start growing and people will ask who it's from. It will come to the light considering the fact that there are already heavy humors about these two. Like, it's his responsibility too. How long have you known? A week. Oh no, that explains Raj's strange behavior at the Dubai's estate and Radha's absence. He will have to answer for it. Thank you, Sara. Sara's eyes narrowed unkindly, but Radha immediately reproached her. They were very different after all. The older sister seemed formidable and brave, and yet a fragile and frightened woman was hiding inside her. The younger gave the impression of being the sweetest and most mellow woman ever, which was definitely far from the truth. Are you defending that Asura? Period. Asura is trash. By the way, let's go. I'm not defending him, but being reasonable. What can he do? Bitch, he needs to take responsibility for his actions. Like, without his stick in your vagina, you wouldn't be pregnant. Like, he should have wrapped his damn dick up. Or he shouldn't have went into the sack with you in the first place. Like, I don't know if back in the day they already had condoms, but if they didn't, it's his responsibility if he wasn't capable to keep his desires in check. Like, it was his decision to go with it. It was his decision to strip you naked. It was his decision to put his dick inside your vagina. It was his decision, so he needs to suck it up. He needs to take responsibility for what he did. He's responsible too. Marry you? What else? So that the Dolan will engulfed in conflicts, chaos, and fear. Everyone knows when the Dubais and the Bazus are predestined to unite. It has to happen before Kali Yuga, as that union will change everything. Raj is right. Now it's too early. Why didn't you think about that before taking your clothes off? Devi is me, y'all. She has my thoughts. Like, it was his fucking decision. It was his decision to strip you naked. These were my words. We're both to blame, Devi. Yes. But considering the fact that you're the only one that gets pregnant in this entire situation, he needs to take responsibility too, not just you. What are you gonna do? How are you supposed to hide that damn belly, girl? How far ahead are you? Alright, I'm sorry. Radha is taking her responsibilities like an adult. I also shouldn't blame Ram for what happened between us because I could have left, but I didn't want to. You were blaming him like I didn't really catch that up, y'all. I thought that she was mad that she couldn't help but allow herself to go with her emotions back then. But alright. When Sara finished helping her sister freshen up, she asked, Are you still worrying about the 1,000 even as you're pregnant and unmarried? Let them all go to hell. Your happiness is more important.
Do you want me to talk to Rash?
Let me go with you to talk to Raj. Rada looked in the mirror. She couldn't let anyone notice that she had cried.
This is why I'm the Bazoo Harris, Sarah, and not you. I need to help maintain order. Right now, we're the only thing that stands in the way of a new uprising. My happiness doesn't matter. We can't only act in our own interests. We'll figure something out. Rash didn't leave me. He promised to find a solution.
What kind of solution? Are you supposed to drink some death potion? What are you supposed to drink? You can't get rid of the child. Suddenly they heard a commotion outside the bathroom door. The dinner was clearly coming to an end, and something had happened in the common room while the girls were away. What's going on?
That doesn't sound good. Let's go.
What is going on? In the hallway they were met by agitated servants as well as Vidya and Amrita, who were rushing somewhere. Seeing Devi and her daughters, Mrs. Bazoo threw up her hands.
There you are. The three of you disappeared on us again.
What's wrong? Amrita had not been spending much time with them as of late. She was the first of them to get engaged and was spending her free time in the company of her fiancé. She could see that Radha, Saraswati and Devi had more and more in common topics to discuss, while she had less and less.
Follow me. The Governor General has just arrived.
Here? In my house? Sara and Radha exchanged glances. They silently hurried after their mother. What is going on? Devya entered the reception hall. Lord Declare was there indeed, waiting for her on the sofa, his legs crossed.
Shama, good afternoon.
Everyone else was there too. Looking from behind Kamal's back, Anil opened his mouth in fright. Saraswati gasped, and the servants pressed themselves against the walls at the sight of... Oh, tiger. He's like, I'm bringing my pet with me. He's my best companion. Bye. A huge tiger of a rare dark color was lying at Christian's feet. Okay, but he's fine though, like I have to admit. The animal was moving his tail and growling from time to time, but seemed completely domesticated. Christian kept the animal on a leash, but he was gentle, using his voice and confidence to control him instead of brute force. The tiger seemed to feel his authority and didn't try to challenge it, surrendering leadership to the Governor General.
Do you like him?
He was addressing Devi.
Please accept this as my gesture of goodwill. Consider it a wedding gift.
You're giving me a tiger? Are you sure the tiger will like me? He nodded slightly toward the tiger. This is your gift? A tiger?
It seems to me you're very much alike.
He's like, you're wild. As if realizing who Christian was talking about, the animal slowly turned his head to look at Devi. A noble and strong creature, he probably didn't even need a leash to lay there quietly.
He said you're a tiger.
Damn. Christian was treating the tiger like a pet, his eyes focused on Devi. Bye. I don't understand. Where did you get him? Why are you giving him to me? How can you call this a wedding gift if we aren't... Girl, he's not seeing this as a refusal. He doesn't think that there is a reason to refuse. So this is him literally just giving you gifts after gifts. He said you're wild, y'all. I can't.
This tiger is a very rare dark color. It stands out from the others, and it is even rumored that it is more difficult to tame than any other predator.
Are you saying that this is me? That I'm so rare that I can't help but to stand out in a crowd, and that people are saying that it's insanely difficult to tame me because of my temper?
But I was told it was worth the effort. He will kill for his master. I must admit, I quickly found a common language with him. You won't find another like him, and the same can be said about you.
This man, I also have a connection with Christian. Well, fuck me.
That's why I thought it was a good gift.
Bye. The tiger raised his head, listening to Christian's voice. Adopting the tiger will partially affect the plot. Please take him away. To be quite honest. What an amazing surprise. If you are if you're acting like a bitch, he will be coming at you. Davy was fascinated by the rare color of the tiger. His fur was dark, with shining black and reddish stripes. A beautiful, strong animal. He stared at her with his big eyes as if he understood who he'd been brought there for. So this is really for me? Can I keep him?
I want you to keep him. He's yours.
Christian outstretched his hand, holding out the leash. Kamal ordered David not to move so that a servant could lead the tiger aside. It was hard to believe. Lord Declare has given me a real tiger. You accepted the gift. Now you have a pet predator and you'll have to tame him. Well, damn. Oh, achievement unlocked. Pearl of Bengal. Accept the tiger as a gift. Alright. Alright. But why did you say it was a wedding gift?
Yes, the one that it's customary to give to your bride. It seems you haven't been told.
Tevye smiled nervously. You're rushing things. We're not. She turned around, looking at Kamal and Vidya for support. They're not gonna give you the support. But funnily enough, the two of them were the only ones who didn't look surprised. Kamal? Yeah. He looked at her and replied, reluctantly but honestly.
I have agreed to consider this engagement, Davy. That's why Lord Declare's here. He came to see you.
Well, damn. I'm 1000% sure that it was more Vidya telling him that he needs to suck it up, considering that his family status isn't that high. Oh well, but we're being married off and we got a real life tiger. So if we are forced into marrying this man and we have Kamal, Ram, and Saraswati at our heels begging us to leave Christian even though we have no choice. If Christian is disrespecting us, we can use the tiger to say fetch. Like fetch him. Like we will tame this beast and it will become our best friend, just like it happened with Jasmine in Aladdin. So if this bitch will try something with us, we know who will throw the hands. Like this man will not see to live another day if this bitch tries us too much. But we will see what happens in the next episode. I'm intrigued. But I hope you enjoyed this video with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye.